I've always wanted a proper pilot's watch, something with that clean, functional design that feels connected to history but doesn't cost thousands of dollars. So when I came across Laco and learned that they were one of the original 5 manufacturers that built pilot's watches for the German Luftwaffe and they're super affordable, so I knew I had to try one. So this is the Laco Augsburg Blaue Stunde 42 watch that captures a century of aviation heritage for just under $400. This is their new updated version where they've refined the design, improved the finishing and kept the spirit of the original alive. But is it as good as it looks? Let's find out. When you first pick this watch up, you immediately feel its presence. Sure, 42mm might sound big on paper, but on the wrist, it looks just right for a pilot's watch. Laco has a 39mm version as well, but I mean, come on, a small pilot's watch, that's borderline heresy. These watches were never meant to be subtle accessories, they were survival tools designed to be used in dim cockpits. And while the closest I'll ever get to a cockpit is a cheap Ryanair flight, this size feels genuinely good on my 7-inch wrist. At 11.7mm thick, with a 50mm lug to lug, it commands attention without feeling clumsy. The lugs angle down just enough to contour the wrist, and the flat case back ensures the watch sits low and evenly. It's a small detail, but it makes a big difference. The watch feels planted and secure, not top heavy like many dive watches with raised case backs. It's honestly one of the best proportioned and comfortable watches I have. You can choose from a great 2-piece NATO, leather strap, or go for the optional stainless steel bracelet. They all look great. The 2-piece NATO strap keeps the watch feeling light and casual, and prefer it over the traditional 1-piece design because it doesn't add that extra layer of fabric under the case, so it wears slimmer and more comfortable, especially on a watch that already has some thickness to it. I couldn't resist adding the stainless steel bracelet though. Cost about 89 euros extra, but it completely changes the vibe of the watch. It feels well built with solid end links and a reassuring weight that makes it perfect for daily wear. There's no on-the-fly adjustment or quick release system, which would have been nice honestly, especially since this thing is a total strap monster. It's the kind of watch that just begs to be paired with different straps, and I'm definitely getting a brown leather one next. But I really like that Laco gives you options, whether you want the more classic 42mm or the smaller 39mm version, plus a bunch of strap choices to match your style. It's pretty impressive for a company that still assembles the watches in Germany. Now, one of the biggest updates with this version is the finishing. Previous versions had the bead blasted case, which gave the watch that matte look, but this new Blaue Stunde switches things up with a brushed stainless steel finish, and honestly, I think it's a great move. It continues that tool watch vibe, no high polish, no flashy edges, just solid German craftsmanship. The brushing adds refinement and depth while catching light in a really dynamic way, perfectly complementing what makes this watch stand out, which is the dial. And this is where the watch gets its name, Blaue Stunde or Blue Hour. It's got that gorgeous sunburst blue finish dial that shifts from deep navy to vibrant electric blue depending on the light. It's honestly absolutely stunning in person, even better than on video or on photos. Everything else on the dial is textbook Flieger Type A, large Arabic numerals, a clean minute tracker, and those sword-shaped hands filled with Super Luminova C3. Now, if you thought dive watches had a great lume, wait until you see this thing. It glows so bright and clean it almost looks backlit. But after all, a pilot's watch lives and dies by readability, and this one definitely nails it. No fancy textures, no date window to clutter things up, just pure functional clarity. On top of that, you get a sapphire crystal, of course, with optional anti-reflective coating for additional 50 euros, and even a display case back so you can admire the movement. And speaking about the movement, you've got two options. The one I got, the Laco 2S, which is based on the Miyota 82S0, and the Laco 31 based on the Miyota 8315. The standard one gives you the 42 hours of power reserve, while the upgraded version of the extra 55 euros bumps the power reserve up to 60 hours and even adds some decorative touches like the blue screws and ornamental cuts. Both are Japanese made movements with relative accuracy of 0 to plus 25 seconds per day, but most importantly, it keeps the price grounded at 340 euros or just under 400 bucks. It's a seriously compelling watch. So you get a piece of aviation history made by a German company that helped define the flieger style, combined with a dependable Japanese movement and excellent finishing for a very affordable price. Sure, the design might remind you of other pilot's watches, but that's because it's following a proven formula, the same way that every dive watch out there borrows something from the Submariner, for example. It's understated but purposeful, and if you're looking for a timeless, functional pilot's watch that won't break your bank, then this is probably the best answer right now. Like this video if you liked it and subscribe for more watch content. I'll catch you in the next one.